Real life, real people, real stories. It's time to acknowledge people in the community. Each week, come along and take a look into the lives of some extraordinary people. See how a story of a complete stranger can be so similar to your own.
Attorney Al Parisi, real life, real people, real stories. Today we're here learning about Khamal Amaduer. Khamal Amaduer teaches us there ain't no love in the city. He teaches us that the real lesson is you can't find love until you're able to love yourself. Hi, it's Attorney Al Parisi, and today I have the honor of bringing with me today Khamal Amaduer. And Khamal Amaduer rode the streets of Rochester through and came out great at the other end. And we're going to learn about the life lessons Khamal learned from when he was young in Rochester, in the inner city of Rochester, to where he is today. Good morning, Mr. Amaduer. How are you?
Good morning.
Great. And Khamal, can you tell us a little bit about where did you grow up, Khamal?
The east side of Rochester, Parcells Avenue, Goodman Avenue. It's not the best area, but it's a very tight-knit community.
And tell me this, you grew up with who at home? Mom, dad, kids, how many brothers, sisters? How did that work?
For a while, it was just me and my mother. My father was incarcerated for the most of my childhood, and in my late teens, I had a younger brother. So it was just me and my mother for most of the years.
So, in your young years, you and your mom were the team.
Yeah, it was just me and her against the world.
Against the world, exactly right. And explain to me, growing up, you and your mom, would you visit your dad, or like what was it like?
No, it was like he was gone. Like it was just he was always gone. It was from the time I was 2, and I never seen him until I was like about 11, and then after that he lived in Jersey and in and out of Rochester, and so we never really had a family situation with him being close for me to have a relationship with him.
So you're a little boy growing up, and when you looked out the window, who was there to look up to?
Teachers. That was about it. Those were the only people that seemed like they had something a little bit better than what we had going on around where I lived at. And so you talk to the teachers and they give you a idea of what it's like outside of Rochester, outside of the hood, and things like that. And so that's pretty much who you would look to. That's all we had. Or it was, the people that had something and they weren't doing the right things to get it.
And those people who had something but were not doing the right things to get it, with respect to those people, what was the allure? What was it about them that as a kid you kind of take a second look at?
They had it. They had what you want. They had the cars. They had the means to get wherever they wanted to get and do the things they wanted and have the things that you wanted that made everybody want to be around you. And so you wanted to be around them, and everybody wanted to be around them, and so therefore it was gravitating. It's like, this is where to be at. This is the life, and then you get a dose of the life, and then you understand it's not what it's cracked up to be.
And when you say you get a dose of the life, right? Are these young boys out there, or when you were out there, boys don't like to throw around the word love, right? Like, are they looking for that, or do they think they find it in these individuals? What is it about love?
I don't think that word is used too much in the neighborhoods. It's a very much a lack of love. It's like it makes you cold, makes you hard, makes you want to do whatever you have to do to get to the next day to survive. And so, you know, love is the last thing anybody talks about. I mean, you know, even in households, you know, children and mother, you know, it's very tough in the hood. It's like, you know, you love behind closed doors, kind of. You know, you don't love in the street. It's like, hey, how you doing? You know, keep them at a distance, and we gonna, you know, make it.
And what was it like growing up too, in terms of friends? Explain that to me in terms of like who you thought were your friends growing up.
It's a very touchy situation, because it's always like you grow up with these guys, you all have the same goals, and then your goals start butting heads, and then it's like, we can't be friends playing this game. You know what I'm saying? There's no friends in this game. And it gets to be very evident soon, like, you know, 19, 17, you know, you get to see that, you know, you got 3, 4 friends, and everybody else is waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? It's a very tough situation, and then that's the life. You get a dose of it. Like, you know, everybody is not your friend anymore. You know, it changes. It's very touchy.
And when you say it's touchy, how do you live life looking over your shoulder and coming to the recognition that there's probably more people looking to take you down than there are to boost you up?
And I guess that's where you get you have to get as much as you can get, because you feel like, you know, you're not promised tomorrow, or that's what they constantly push in your head. So you get whatever you get today, you spend it today, and you worry about tomorrow when tomorrow comes. And that's the mentality that we have out in the hoods, and that needs to change. It needs to be a plan for the future, and not just get rich tomorrow, get rich, and the wrong way, you know.
And let me ask you this question though. You're how old today?
I'm 36.
Did you think when you were 18 you'd make it to 36?
No.
And was that real?
No, that was very real. That was I mean, and today I still deal with it. It's like a self-worth idea. Like, you know, it's like, you know, you always feel like, you know, I'm about to die. Like, so, because I've told myself that for so long. So it's very, it's a long process to give yourself worth again, to say that, you know, I'm not gonna die tomorrow. That is more to life than just what they show on TV and what everybody deems is what's good, you know. And it's real things that you can't touch, taste, like love, and those are the things that aren't in the neighborhoods. You understand what I'm saying? When people are trying to survive, you know, they want what they can eat, what they can touch.
So love is a luxury at that point.
Yeah, very much.
And let me ask you this. How about yourself? Was there a point in time when you began to say, wait a minute, maybe I could even love myself a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, and it was in prison. It was like, you know, like like you had to step away from it, you know, to see what's really going on, to see the programming, to see the way that society works, and how you get put in situations where, you know, you think you don't have doors open to you, but they are, and you just have to work. And, you know, that's not what's taught. Like, you know, you have to do the right thing for a while to reap the benefits of it. You understand?
And you were blessed with such a high level of intelligence that always amazed me, which led you always, what, to be the leader?
Yeah, it put me in a position where people wanted my advice, or wanted, just like, hey, we're gonna go do something, let's go about it your way. And so that always happened. And then once things got to, to a point where they needed to be maintained, it was like, that's, that was my calling, maintenance of situations. And that's how I was able to transfer my life over to something else, to say I can manage other situations and other things better. And that's how I was able to say, listen, this is not, the way that you would want to live life for the rest of your life,
And how was it, though, that you began to kind of love yourself a little bit? Like, how did that even come about? Like, when did you say, you know what, wait a minute here, I may survive, and if I do, I better, love myself a little bit?
It was a point where I did the religion thing really, really hard, and I figured out that that God is the way. He's love for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then I said, if Jesus could do it, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? If I could, just do it without the money, without the fame, without just doing it for everybody else, try to help anybody. And that's the way I've lived my life. And from that day on, helping people in prison, I ran classes and ran programs. I coached teams, and when I got out of prison, I coached Little League football. I did whatever I could do to help people, and in turn, it made my life easy. Just helping and being a part of, and knowing that I have work that can help other people, is just, it changed my life from prison, knowing that I could help somebody else.
And speaking of helping somebody else, how about these kids? Some of them out there today who are thinking, the word prison. Oh, I can handle that. Oh, that's a life that it's not all that bad. It's all that. What do you say to that young Khamal who's out there, who's real smart? What do you say to him today?
I can't tell him that he can't do prison, because he can. Everybody can. I mean, people go into prison, they're made to keep you there just so you can do your time and get out. People go to prison, people get out. If that's what you want out your life, that's what you can get. There's certain things that come with the lifestyle, and prison is one of them. And if that's what you want, you're gonna get it. It's gonna come, and they're gonna keep you there, and you're gonna get out, and then it's gonna be very, very rough in your life then. And then you have to make that decision. Do you want to be a career criminal, or do you want to go a different route? And that route is going to be a lot harder. And I'm trying to, let the youngsters know that, when you get ready to hang it up, you'll have a lot in your jacket to hang up when you get ready to hang it up, because you will. The game hangs it up for you. You understand what I'm saying? It's a timetable on it, and they don't see it. And it's hard, as because when I was young, nobody could tell me anything, especially with a pocket full of money and big dreams. Who gonna stop that?
And that was you as a kid, and that was your mentality as a kid. And like I said, you were blessed with those intelligence. You were blessed with a mind that's almost second to none. And that's what was so impressive from my standpoint. And you still had to go down that road, even with the intelligence that God had blessed you with.
Yeah, I was in college and things just weren't going the way I wanted them to, financially, and because of my family and the people that I knew, it was just always so easy to make money, you know, illegally. I mean, from I don't,
Yeah.
just numerous ways. Like,
Right.
and that was the mantra, like crime every day, whatever you could do to make money, and lots of it, and it gets out of hand. It does, you know. Ooh.
No, and for today's kids, though, I think a lot of them obviously can relate to who you were, and now we're hoping to relate to who you are today. How important was it, or do you think it is for these kids to just stay in school?
Education is very important. I think more important than school is reading. It's the books, man. The knowledge is in the books, and
when you
now
come
that they teach you.
when you come down though, even in terms of, like you say, people who say may go to prison, right? You'll say some people, you know what? They need a little more dose. They're not ready for this life out here. How do you know that? Or what does that even mean?
When you around the people, the life, you see how ingrained it is in people, and you know, like when somebody goes to prison and they kind of rough around the edges, they'll get out and they'll still be rough around the edges. It just, you know, it depends on the person and the time and the support he has when he gets out, because, you know, that's definitely the biggest part of, you know, making it after a fall is your support group.
And I see how much you love your daughter. One of the things you explained to me is something very simple, like picking your daughter up from school, right? You explained to me once that some kids don't want to be the "I've never been picked up from school by my dad" kids, right?
Right, and they don't know it until it's done, but the father knows that. You know, the father knows that he hasn't picked up his child, but the child doesn't know until they're grown. Like, my father never picked me up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as a parent, you have to take the initiative to show the love, so that the child knows what love is. You know, when, you know, the child gets of age, to give some love back or give love to his or her child. It's a cycle, and I think that's part of what I'm, you know, saying, that, you know, you have to give, and that's what is lacking in the hood.
Right, and what you said was there's a scarcity of love, and that by the very simple thing of picking up, if you're a dad, say you can't pay child support, you're out of a job, whatever it may be, just picking up your kid for school and taking him or her for an ice cream, right, can kind of break down the, there may be poverty, but there doesn't have to be a poverty of love.
Yeah, right. Time, effort, all of those things are not tangible, but are very, very real and can be experienced and looked back upon. Like, oh, that, you know, he took the time, he took the effort, and made sure that he was out here to make a difference, you know, in my life. You know, whether or not he was, you know, doing this or doing that, he was out here and he was for me. And that's where I'm at with, you know, my family. I'm for my family, everybody, every one of them.
And you're trying to be that person that was not there for you.
Right. You know, and hopefully I can create a couple more people like me, you know, and you know, Dad will create a couple more people like them, and it'll be a lot more people trying to help people, and then we can get a different feel for what's going on in the hood, like, you know, like, because it's just a real lack of understanding and caring, you know, like, you know, they don't understand, and then they don't, like, so they don't care. Like, I can't, you know, put any time and effort into caring about what's going on in the hood because I don't even understand it. And so that's where you get that, and then you have the people like me that understand it, that just need a voice and some help to change it, you know. And so that's where we at, you know. We trying to start with the youngsters.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Amaduer. Khamal, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.